I think we are online. That is so weird because I'm from Chile and I speak English. So please, I need to, somebody told me if we are online or not. Yes, we are. Thank you very much. So, hello guys. My name is Marta Mendez. I'm from Chile and I work with our Chilean students. Remember, in NED Training Center, we have agents from different countries. So, for example, if you are from South Korea and you have a question about South Korea, our agent from this country will help you with that specific question. Today, we are going to see an English class. The idea is to show you how our classes work and give you an idea of what to expect when you come here. It is very important that you know classes are conducted only in English, 100% in English. The class that we are going to feel today is an upper intermediate class. Remember, we have 6 levels of English, from beginners, that means students who are not able to speak English or have a very little experience, to advanced. Upper intermediate class is 1 level below to advanced, so it's for the students who speak English almost fluently. We are now in the middle of the break. The afternoon class starts at 1 p.m. and finishes at 4:15, with 15 minutes break. And also, we have morning class. Our class are multicultural, so you will meet people from different countries, such as South Korea, China, Malaysia, Italy, Russia, Chile, Argentina, Mexico. So if you have any further question, please contact us at info@ned.e. So now the teacher is in the classroom and we're going to see the class. Enjoy. And how can I switch?
Yeah?
Yes.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Hi everyone. Hi guys. Right. Have I been introduced?
Yeah, should be.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Okay. So, we are going to do this. We've already looked at some conditionals yesterday, as you guys know. Yesterday we looked at the present tense conditionals. And today we just have to look at the ones with past tenses. And we will also focus on some mixed conditionals there towards the end, once we understand a bit more. Now, as far as I am aware, you've got conditionals in your languages as well, including Portuguese and Spanish, right?
Yes.
So this isn't rocket science, this is just normal science, okay? So it's not that complicated. Let's get going. Any questions?
No.
Any questions? Right, okay, let's do this. So we'll start with the second conditional first, and I have some example sentences on the board. And as you will see, I've written parts of the use of this conditional on the board. We just need to fill in some details quickly. So yesterday we did the 0 and first conditionals, and we said they talk about the present, of course. And now we're going to look at the second conditional, which uses a past tense, but we just need to find out whether we are talking about the past, the present, or the future. So would anyone like to volunteer this information for me? If I say a sentence, if I were you, I'd give the teacher some money, food, or anything you want to give the teacher. I don't really mind what it is. Okay? Am I talking about the past or the present or the future? It's a past. Okay, so it's a past tense. It's the past. Are there any other options that are not the past?
Present.
Yes! Hallelujah! Okay, we're talking about the present or the future. Okay, so we're talking about a hypothetical present or future. So we're talking about a hypothetical present or future condition, and when this condition is true, it will give us a result, and this result will be a hypothetical present or future result. Okay? And obviously, that means you still have an opportunity to bring your teacher some money or food, okay? Because we're talking about
By tomorrow.
yeah, by tomorrow. We're talking about the present or the future, so this is great. Okay, excellent. So now what we're talking about, we know what we are talking about, and we know that this is important information. These are hypothetical or unlikely situations. So let's look at the form we use in these structures. Obviously, we start with an if, which we've got there. Plus, now, can you tell me what tense do I use? Okay, I can use a past simple, that's correct. What I'm going to put there is past simple or past continuous. We can use either one of those. I'm going to do an abbreviation because I want to. I wanted to say something else. Okay, so if I were you, I'd give the teacher some money. Let's look what we use in our main clause. So after the comma, can anyone tell me what verb form do we use in our main clause? Excellent. Good. So we've got a few options. We can say would plus infinitive. Alternatively, we can also use might, and we can use could, and well, this is just a combination of them, okay? So, where was I? We can use would, we can use might, we can use could, and all of these ones are plus infinitive. So that's quite easy, right? As you guys will also remember from yesterday, we've got the two clauses in any conditional. So we will start with the if clause, which is everything before the comma. If and when, we start with the if clause. And we have our second clause on this side. Which color will I use? Oh, God. Okay, this one. And we say that this one is our main clause. Okay. Now, since we are live, can anyone remind me what is a clause?
To be a clause has to have a subject and a verb.
Yes! Excellent. Very good.
Good one.
Thank goodness we got an advanced student. So it's a phrase with a subject and a verb. Okay, good. Brilliant. So we've got our two clauses in the sentence. And we know that this is definitely hypothetical, right? So, if I were you, can I be you? Is that possible?
No.
Of course, right? So that's definitely hypothetical. And the result is also hypothetical. So I cannot be you, and I cannot give the teacher food because I cannot be you. Because if I could be you, I would give the teacher some food. But that's not possible, of course. So that's not too bad. Just a quick question for those of you who are observant. We would usually expect to say if I was you. Okay, so we expect to see was there, and I'm using were. Why am I doing that? There's a name for this phenomenon. Because it's English, that's a very good reason, but there is a better reason for that. And I will give it to you. Okay, so this is called the subjunctive. Okay, and the subjunctive is a mood. Okay, it's not a tense, it's a feeling. And the feeling it creates is a hypothetical feeling. That's why we use it in the second conditional, because it's hypothetical. So notice it doesn't change the tense itself, it only changes the mood or the feeling of the conditional I'm actually using. Now in the past, you could use the subjunctive in any or nearly any second conditional if clause, but it has changed. Okay? Nowadays, it's much more common for native speakers to use this subjunctive, where I replace my was with were, in this fixed phrase, if I were you? And obviously we use that to give advice. So that's quite easy, right?
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you very much. That's great. So I have a few more examples on the board. Let's look at them quickly. We've already used would, and we know that would expresses certainty. But obviously this is a hypothetical certainty. So it's something, a certain result in a hypothetical situation. Okay. Certainty. That's good. Then we have might. So he might be able to help you if you ask him. Now there is a problem in this sentence. Can anyone identify it for me? Yes. Brilliant. And I'm very glad that someone is observant. I need to say asked. Okay. And the reason I have to do that is, where is my if clause? It starts there. And I know in my if clause I need a past tense, so that definitely needs to be past. Very good. Well spotted. Now I'm talking about might, and when I talk about might, I am talking about possibility. Okay, so now we can express certainty, and we can express possibility. Do we have any questions so far?
No.
Excellent. That's good, if you understand it. That's very good. Okay, so we've got a possibility there. So obviously, if you ask him hypothetically, it doesn't mean it's going to happen, but that situation exists hypothetically in the future. If you asked him, he might be able to help you. We're very happy with that. Notice though that if I finish the sentence with my if clause, there is no comma. I only put the comma if I start with my if clause, so that's fine. Okay, that's nice and easy. So this obviously never happens in our school. Students are never late. Okay, but I just put this here as an example. So if no one was late tomorrow, again in this sentence I can identify my if, and I can identify my past simple. That's fine, and the hypothetical result of this situation is that we could start the lesson on time. And when I use can or could, what do I mean when I use can or could? We've got certainty, we've got possibility, ability. Good. So when we use like can or could, we talk about ability. So we have a lot of flexibility here. We can express three possible things, right? If we use the second conditional. So that's really nice. And yes, I have my good plus infinitive, and we are all happy. Obviously, I started the sentence with my if clause, so I will use a comma there, and that's good. Again, a hypothetical present or future situation or a condition. When this is true, this result would happen hypothetically in that hypothetical situation. Now, this last sentence, because it's a controversial one, I gave you some options in this sentence, whatever you want to use. So let's just identify my if. So I finished the sentence with my if clause. So obviously there's no comma, as you can see. And now you can decide how you feel about this personally. So we can say the world might be a better place if religion didn't exist. It would be a better place if you are certain about that. Or it would not be a better place. However you want to express yourself, it's your choice. Okay? But I just start with my main clause in the sentence and I finish with my if clause. So, what is important? What is important is, well, everything. Okay. But more specifically, is that I'm talking about hypothetical situations, and I'm definitely talking about the present or the future. Even though I am using a past tense, I'm not talking about the past. That past tense just tells me that this is hypothetical. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the second conditional. Okay. So that's good. I don't usually get an applause, by the way. This is a special occasion. Okay. So that's the second conditional. Let's look at the third conditional, which is the next one we've got on the board. That's lovely. Okay. So again, I've got a hypothetical condition and a hypothetical result, just like I had with the second conditional, but obviously my time reference will change now. So am I talking about past, present, or future? What do you think?
Past.
Very good. Okay, that's the only option that we have left. that's a nice answer. Past, past. Okay. So the third conditional is the only conditional that actually talks about the past. So it's very easy. We've got 4 other conditionals, 0, first, and second. They all talk about the present or future, and only the third conditional talks about the past. So that's nice and easy. Okay. So let's look at the form of this conditional. Again, we will start with an if. So we say if plus. And what tense can you guys see there? That's a past perfect. Okay. Now, the only flexibility you have in the if clause with your third conditional is that you're going to use the past perfect simple or the past perfect continuous, but it must be a past perfect, so there's no other flexibility to be found there. I just want to identify all my ifs and my past perfects, and I will leave this one for now. That one's tricky. Okay. So what can we use in our main clause? So after our comma, let's see what we can find. We can see, yes, excellent. So I can use would, have, plus, and past. What verb form is that?
Participle.
It's a past participle. Brilliant. And then I have some other options as well, like you can see there. So we can also use might have plus a past participle. And do I have a third one? Yes, I do. Okay, I couldn't have come abroad. So let's just put this all on the board. Could have plus past participle. Fantastic. Okay. So, a hypothetical past condition with a hypothetical past result. So we are talking about things that didn't happen and the result of these actions that didn't happen. So, I mean, obviously, it's all hypothetical, right? So if you say, like, if she had studied, she would have passed the exam, which means that she didn't study and she didn't pass the exam. And we all know how that feels, right? It happens. Okay.
Regret situations.
Yes, exactly. Regret. That's very good. I'm not going to copy this information because it's exactly the same, okay? Like certainty, possibility, and ability. I'm talking about myself here personally. I might have studied engineering if I'd taken more time to consider my options. But I didn't take time to consider my options, and I didn't study engineering. In fact, I'm an English teacher now. You can see how happy I am. Rescue me. No, just joking. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. So you can see definitely a hypothetical past situation with a hypothetical result in the past. Everything is in the past, okay? And this is also true for me. I know a lot of you guys came here using money you saved personally. I know some of you came here using your parents' money, and I know that I am one of them. My parents helped me to come abroad, and I'm still paying them back with my teacher's salary. It's been 10 years now. So, let's look. I couldn't have come abroad if my parents hadn't helped me. So obviously my parents did help me. So that means I had the ability to come abroad. But this is just a hypothetical past situation, right? So if they hadn't helped me, I wouldn't have had the ability to come abroad. And you guys know what abroad means, right?
Yes.
Hallelujah. Okay. And now I'm going to get my chair. Because I want to. Okay. So, up to here, I think we should all be quite happy. Because it's not that difficult, okay? Is that okay if I sit down?
Yeah.
Do you guys mind?
They don't mind.
They don't mind?
No.
Thanks, guys. You're the best. Okay. I want to focus on this one quickly, because in this sentence I also focus on my if clause first. I'm just going to highlight my commas again in the sentences where I start with my if clause. But this might be a bit confusing. So I say like couldn't have come in my main clause, and I'm quite happy because I have could, I have, and I have a past participle, so that's great. I want to focus on the if clause. So what do we need? We need a past perfect. Okay, so I have a had, which is good, we want that. Has. I have a been, which is a past perfect, a past participle. So I'm quite happy with that. And what about this help? What is that? Is that a verb as well? And if it is, what form is that? Is that past simple or past participle? Okay, past participle. Okay, so now I've got a small problem. I've got two past participles. The question is, why? And the answer is,
one is working as a verb.
Very good guesses. It's not bad at all. I'll give you a clue. The clue lies with this word. When you see by, there should be some bells going off in your head. Ding, 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 ding. Not active voice, but excellent. Good. So this is the passive voice. And I put it in there to confuse you because we need to learn this. Okay? So I just wanted to show you that everything you learn in English is not exclusive. I mean, you cannot use the passive voice separately from a conditional construct. Okay, we can use them all together, and that's all I wanted to show you here. So I'm doing a third conditional, and I'm using the passive voice in the third conditional. So we can combine all the knowledge we have and use them together, which is what native speakers do, like me. Okay, so this is a passive construct, and this is like how I form my passive. I'm not going to teach the passive now, but you guys should be aware of how it works. Just as a quick little reminder, in the passive voice we say the verb be plus past participle. And we know that this be must tell me what tense I'm using. So this changes, and the past participle never changes. So in that construct, there's number 2, helped. That is actually the past participle in my passive voice, and hadn't been is the be part of the structure. So I will actually write that there, hadn't been. And this tells me the tense. This tells me that I'm using a past perfect construct. And the past participle is just because I'm using the passive voice. So that is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, teacher. Fantastic. Excellent. Very good. I created that. Not too bad. Okay. That's the third conditional. So what is important? Again, everything. But if you have to focus on something, a hypothetical past, condition, hypothetical past result. The form is important. We know that we use a past perfect. And this have is also very important. And that's it. It's not rocket science. Again, we know this by now. I know this by now, and you are getting to know it as well. So that's quite nice. So the last one, just quickly, while we're busy, is mixed conditionals. Yes, fine. Okay, mixed conditionals. These conditionals are very, very, very common in the English language, and they do exactly what the name says. We mix conditionals, and we can mix them between, we can mix all the different forms we have, okay? And the reason we want to do that is to mix the past and the present. And we also want to mix real and hypothetical situations. So let's just analyze. I've just written 2 on the board. Let's analyze them quickly, and maybe you guys can help me. So I've got my if clause. I know that they end in a comma when I start with my if clause. And let's look at what tense I've got here. So if I had a bigger lunch, what using in my if clause? With the past perfect. The third. Yes. Brilliant. Okay. So I'm using a third conditional in my if clause, and if I say I wouldn't be hungry now, that's a second conditional. Excellent. Okay, so you guys can see this is the most common mixed conditional construct that you will ever use, and it's quite logical because the past always affects the present or the future. So it's obviously I'm talking about the fact that I didn't have a big lunch and I am hungry now. See, that's why I want food for my students. Okay, it's all connected. It's all connected. So this is like one way we can mix our conditionals. Okay, a hypothetical past condition with a hypothetical present result. And let's look at this one quickly, which is also it's not that difficult. If I won the lottery today, which conditional is that? Excellent, because it's a past simple. So now I'm using the second conditional in my if clause. And what do I have there? I wouldn't have had to get no. That's a third conditional. So all I've done here is I have swapped those two clauses. So let's just analyze this quickly. If I won the lottery today, this is a hypothetical situation because we know that winning the lottery is virtually impossible. So this is definitely a hypothetical present or future with a result in the past. So if you analyze this, this actually means that I got a loan from the bank, and this would have been unnecessary if I won the lottery today, hypothetically. So the future affects the hypothetical past. So just for interest's sake, I didn't get a loan from the bank, in case you guys were wondering. They said no because I'm a teacher. I tried. Okay. So we can mix these conditionals in any way we want. Okay, we can mix them the first, third, second, first. It doesn't matter how you want to mix them. They all exist. But I think the most common one, without a doubt, is this one where we do the third and the second conditional. I would say this is the most important one for you guys to understand. That's basically it. And I would like to take some questions if you guys have any. No questions at all? Let's do the test. I'm ready. Okay, so if you want to do the test, I guess we can do some exercises. I'll just move my chair over here. Any questions from our viewers?
We don't have any questions.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, none at all.
We have many different time between the countries, so it's so hard to get it. Because, for example, in Chile we have 5 hours difference right now, so it's very early, and the people supposed to be at work at the moment.
Supposed to be.
So that's why. Anyway.
For the ladies in the audience, the viewers, I am married, unfortunately.
Yes, so.
But please come to Ned.
So.
Yes? Okay, excellent. So that's the end of the grammar lesson on the board, at least. We are going to do some exercises now, so we will continue with the lesson. And for all the viewers who tuned in to observe our wonderful class, thank you very much. And adios.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye. Okay.